Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have a 2025 and 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. I wanted to show you guys the differences between both of these SUVs. I know some people have mentioned that they can't really tell a big difference between them. So I got this 2025 here side by side with the 2026 so we can see the differences. I borrowed these SUVs from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. Both of these SUVs are available for sale, and here's what I'll tell you. If you are in the market but you're kind of thinking 2026, I would look into leasing one of these 2025s because who knows, maybe in 2 or 3 years Jeep might offer another powertrain option. So let's go ahead and check out the window stickers and then we'll hop into the video. Now this 2025 is a Grand Cherokee L Limited 4-wheel drive. Here's that base price, and if you care to see some of the standard equipment, be sure to pause. Okay. And it continues up here. Now here are all the options. So Silver Zenith was $595. Trailer tow package is $995, and then black appearance package, and then second row bench seat. Now destination was $1995 for a total price of $53,965. And then here are the feel the common numbers here. Now this 2026 is a Laredo Altitude Grand Cherokee L. But when you see the all-in price, they're very, very similar. Unfortunately, they don't have a limited in this 2026 here, but I figured I wanted to show you the differences. That way you have an idea. But regardless of it, this Laredo Altitude package is pretty much really close to that limited trim level. You guys see it has the trailer tow package, sunroof, and then destination $1995 with a total price of $51,570. And then here are the feel the numbers off to the side. So the biggest update with this Grand Cherokee L is going to be the powertrain. So you guys saw on the city, the 2026 does get slightly better, but the highway is about the same. So we're going to do a drive video right after this, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that upload. Now on the front end, this is the 2025, and here's what I'll tell you. Jeep didn't really have to do a refresh because the Grand Cherokees have always looked really good, and this is no exception. So when they did do a refresh, it was very, very subtle. Now you guys can see the headlights are actually slightly different, right? So they did do a different design around the headlights. Also, they added this titanium color, as they call it, on the front end. You can also see it down below here. And if I show you side by side like this, you can really see the difference. So yes, they pretty much cleaned up the 2026. But some people might argue that there's not a big difference between the two SUVs. And I would 100% agree. It's not a big difference, and that's okay because, as I said, the Grand Cherokee still looks good for this 2025 model year. Now also you can see that the grille design is slightly different. So right back up here, they added a little bit more depth to the grille, right? A little bit more like design to it. This has more like a basic look. As far as that Jeep badge goes, nothing different there. Now the adaptive cruise control is slightly different. So you can see the differences there. And you have more like this piano black down below and around the headlights and grille versus the graphite. But yeah, overall the front end is just more refreshed. The hoods are the same. And if we move on back, I don't think they really changed the wheels either. So if these were the same trim level, you would see that, but regardless, you have the plastic fender flares off to the side. You also have more of that plastic trimming down below. The Grand Cherokee badging is all the same still. You have the turn signals on both sides for the mirrors, smart key system for the front doors. And one thing I'll mention, I know some people might not like the plastic down below, but if you like to run your car through a car wash, this plastic's gonna hold up a lot better than paint running through a car wash, just saying. Now this wheel here is an 18, and then this is the 20-inch wheel for that limited okay? 23-gallon fuel tank should have been a carryover for both of these, okay? And this piano black is going to be different from that titanium color right here. And I guess this adds a better accent. Like, it's not bad, I'll be honest. Not a big update, but it's just a nice accent versus all the black. Now this is all piano black still. And then for the tail lights, let's see. I can probably say that they made no changes in the rear. I'm not seeing anything jump out at me for sure. In the comment section, you see anything different? I don't think there's anything different out back. They do hide the hitch down below. You can see the parking sensors out back as well. But yeah, the only difference is just, again, this color here kind of flows all the way from side to side, and then it's down below here. And then this just has the piano black. Full LED tail lights on both sides. You have backup camera. And I didn't mention, but both of these SUVs do have blind spot alert, and these mirrors are heated too. Even these roof rails up top are the same. No differences. Now let's go and pop the rear. We'll start off with this 2026. So right behind that third row, I love how much space you have. And they still provide this storage underneath the floor. LED lights right there. They also give you the lighting on top, or really on the back of this lift gate. You have this button. It gives you about 3 seconds to get from underneath it. And nothing is different on this side. So everything that you saw for that 2026 is pretty much a carryover, right? You have the tie downs right there. Again, those lights on the back. And yeah, if you want to see the seat drop down, look how much space you have. Nothing changes in that third row too. So you have those USBs as a Type A, Type C, cup holder, air vents. One thing that's nice about the Grand Cherokee is it does have a lot more headspace because they put these air vents on the side of the pillars, and on the second row is on the B pillars. Let's go ahead and pop the hoods and talk about these powertrains next. By now, most people do know that the 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee does have a new powertrain, and most people will tell you never buy the first model year of a powertrain. But the good news is this engine has been used in the Jeep Wranglers, so they've already pretty much fixed all the kinks out of it. Now, what's really nice about this inline 4 turbocharged engine is when you're at these higher altitudes, the turbo is going to help make up for the power loss. For every 1,000 feet you go up, you lose about 3% of your horsepower. So just keep that in mind. So this has 324 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque. Now, because this has a turbocharger, it's not going to lose as much as a naturally aspirated engine, which is this 3.6 liter Pentastar. Now, I do believe they still use this in the base model Jeep Grand Cherokee, but this engine is definitely tried and true. I like it. I think that the only issue is it does feel like it is down on power. So it does have 293 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. I cannot wait to do the comparison with fuel economy and performance to show you the differences with these engines. But regardless, this does have a ZF transmission behind the 2 liter. That 8 HP 80, I believe it is reliable. I can tell you that. ZF transmissions are the best. This does have a Chrysler transmission behind the Pentastar. And I haven't heard of anything negative about it, but if you do plan on towing, I would venture to say that ZF transmission is going to be the best bet. And they say when these are properly equipped, they can tow up to 6,200 pounds. Starting with the 2025, you'll probably notice there's no difference on the door. Here's the 2026. The only thing missing on the door is the seat memories because this is a lower trim level. So this 2026 has the exact same design for the door. Same thing goes for the seats. The seats are going to look a little different. because you have the suede here, but you guys see right here, 12-way seat on this one because lumbar does go up and down. Here's that 2025 again. No change. But here's really the big difference. I'm gonna start here. You won't probably notice anything different, but I want to show this first before I show you the actual change versus the 2026. No change, but right here in the center, this is the major update for the interior. You get a 12.3 versus the 8.4. Now, in the higher trim levels, you did have a larger screen for like the Summit, Overland, etc. But for this lower trim level, you do get this benefit here. They also relocated the stop-start button right here, and then this is slightly different too. So here's that 2025 again. 8.4. These buttons are different on this 2025. You guys see where the stop button is right there. Also, they do give you hard buttons for this model for heated seats and steering wheel. Dual climate controls right here. You have this storage. This doesn't really change though. I'll show it to you one more time on this side. Now on this side of the dash, it's pretty much the exact same. The major differences is just a small update for the front end on the exterior, and then also you guys see the center stack is slightly different. I do like where they added that stop start button. It's a really nice touch for the interior. As I mentioned, no changes right here on the dash, and then here's your climate control buttons, and this is where they added your heated seat and steering wheel button on the side of the screen right there basically, and then the controls. This is just a little bit better, I would say. This one does have the wireless charger because of the trim level, but yeah, all this unchanged, all the same features. You see the auxiliary switches, 12-volt power plug right there, all the same. And then again, even out back, there's no changes on the interior. So I hope this video was helpful. I think that, again, as I said earlier, if you're looking to get a good deal on a Jeep Grand Cherokee, the 2025s is where it's at. I would probably really think long and hard about the 2025, just simply because of the price point you can get these at right now. But yeah, the 2026 does have a fresh look. So if you already own a Jeep Grand Cherokee, I can see some people wanting to just make the switch to the newer refresh, and you have a little bit more horsepower and torque with these as well. I definitely do like having the bench in the second row. I know some people probably won't care for this, but if you don't get the bench, just remember, this is just a 6-passenger, okay? But yeah, apart from what I just showed you guys, those are the biggest updates with the Grand Cherokee. Stay tuned for the next video. I will be doing a performance and MPG test. I don't have time today, but I will come back and do it. That way you guys can see a difference in the performance of these new powertrain, or the new powertrain versus the current